105 North Avenue, 52.
Prepare to be fucked by the objects of the law.
This isn't happening. Everyone look away, please. Nothing to see here.
You can't break those cuffs.
Make him away, Ty.
Welcome to Thought Cops, the only podcast where every week we police the mean streets of the internet because, hey, somebody's got to do it. And then we let you be the judge, the jury, and the executioner in the court of public opinion. Coming to you live from Neo Chicago, I'm Officer Kevin.
And I'm hedge fund manager Grant.
Let's give a thank you
All right.
for our guest from last week, Aaron
Right, yeah.
Klopfer.
Clap for Klopfer. But
Let's give a warm welcome to a returning guest to the show. I'm talking about Joey Jump and Shoot. Joey, what's up, man?
Hey, man, I am a veteran.
Is that appropriate, Joey Jump and Shoot?
is that your real last name? Were you born with that last name?
Yeah, I mean,
What
it's,
is that, Italian?
It's a little, yeah, it's a little Italian, little Dago, little rough around the edges, but it works.
All right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going, man? We're happy to have you back. It's been a while.
What
It
you been up
has
to the
been.
past 2.5 years? Or I don't remember the last episode you were on. It was a while ago,
It was
right?
like a year and a half to 2 years ago.
I don't know how long time is anymore.
Yeah, me
I just exist in it.
Yeah, it's
How's
been
it been?
it's been a wild year. I have done wild 2 years. I have done absolutely nothing. So just jumping and shooting apparently. And
Jumping and
hanging out with my
shooting. Now
buds.
that reminds me of that video game character, Mega Man. Whoop,
Mhm.
pew, pew,
And
pew,
that was a really good segue
Kinda
because that's what my podcast used to be before it became a gaming podcast, because branding yourself as a Mega Man podcast felt a little bit suffocating, I guess.
Yeah, I could see that. You know, you want to open up the content stream to the wide world of gamers out there. Maybe not everybody is down with the Mega Man, but maybe somebody's like, gee, I wish he was talking about Sonic instead.
Blue
But Joey,
proximity.
you do it all though. You've been streaming on Twitch. You got your own podcast. You talk about video games of all shapes and sizes. And Grant and I were on your most recent, not the most recent, but a recent episode talking about Mario.
Yes.
Specifically, you're calling the streams side quests, right?
Yeah, it's just what I'm trying to do is trying to keep myself busy and trying to do a live stream discussion about whatever assorted gaming topic I can for at least a month. So trying to get people on the show who I actually like to talk to and just talk about games or whatever the subject may be. Funny enough, actually, today this is a good story. I did another episode about Mario. It's about Mario Galaxy 2. And as a consummate professional, I always try to keep distractions out of my recordings or streams or whatever. And so I think I've done like 50 episodes. I've never once had any like major distraction, apart from like a dog upstairs barking. But in this time, my heat went out today. And so I had to call a heat tech, and the guy got here super early. And dude, I'm not even kidding you. In the middle of this episode about Mario Galaxy, dude calls me and goes like, "Hey, it's Mario, your heat tech. I'm outside." I know. He took that warp pipe all the way there.
Yeah. And like, dude, can you please stop doing wall jumps on my living room?
Yeah, and he kept talking about like pasta fazouli and shit, and I just wasn't having it at all.
Yeah.
So
Holy shit, that is Mario.
that it really was Mario. Dude was like definitely not Mario. So
Yeah, not a good day for that to happen. It's very cold here in Neo Chicago.
I believe it was Rob Thomas and Santana who said, "Man, it is a cold one."
And he said it best. Let's just be honest.
Yes, he did.
But moving on to a little bit of show news of our own. Grant,
What?
you are in
Oh.
a brand new video from the fine folks over at Be Nice to Me Productions that came out this week.
Yes, improv graduation. He used me as an extra, but a bunch of things that I said, I guess, made it in, which was incredible.
He had some lines.
He does some great work. It's all about the distinction between improv and stand up is the main
So
the main crux of this newest Be Nice to Me production.
if you're a comedy nerd, you're going to want to check it out.
He finally took us all down a peg, all us comedians.
Somebody had to.
Yeah,
It's about time.
he needs to do one on podcasters. That should be the
Too
next one.
far.
So
Too
there's
far.
this intersection of kind of almost insufferableness, I think, that happens with like both of our friend groups, where it's like, you know, you have like the comedy people who are like, oh, come to my improv show. And then you have the music people who are like, come to my band show in like a basement where there's a leaking pipe and black mold. So I feel like trying to find the time to do all these things wasn't possible before COVID.
But you probably miss it now.
I miss it now. I miss being affected by black mold. So
It's like, listen, if somebody wants to invite me to their improv show all the way across town, it's 10 degrees outside and nobody else is there but me, and it's really uncomfortable and I have to laugh or there's nothing, I would go. Just an excuse to make contact with another human being.
I think
My-
it needs
my
to
version-
be noise and improv, like a shitty noise show followed by the worst improv show ever, just to gauge social like reaction to it. It's an experiment, perhaps.
You were going to say something?
I
Grant?
was gonna. My version of that though, I think, is more so the instead of come to my show, it's listen to my podcast. And I feel like as I've done some stand up, it's just like, yeah, I don't want people coming to this. Don't listen. Don't please.
It's always like when you invite someone, then you bomb. And it's like, why didn't you go to the other one that I didn't tell anybody about?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
the
know.
same way with music, though. It's like I feel like all the best
Yeah.
shows that I've played have been, you know, like when nobody really shows up, and then the worst ones have been the ones I was the most excited for.
I don't know. I
Man.
played shows for years and years, and I'd invite a bunch of people on Facebook, and it'd be like 40 people planning on going, and it'd be like 0 people, and it's like,
I remember me
Thanks.
and Vitas showed up once. And
Yeah.
we're the only 2 people there.
yeah, you were the only 2 people there. Yeah.
It's a long time ago, though.
Yeah.
We've come a long way as entertainers, haven't we?
Boy, have we.
Speaking of which, we can entertain you over on Twitch. Go give us a follow, twitch.tv/ThoughtCops. We're streaming every Wednesday night and Sunday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't miss it. It's a good time. It's loose. We get a little, we have a little fun. We chat. We just, catch up. Hey, how's your day? Great. How's yours? Pretty good.
Lose
That kind of
our
stuff.
minds, scream about technology, pick fights with people in the chat, all that fun
Ooh.
stuff.
That's
That's
so good.
that's what happens when I'm not there.
Why won't technology just work? I just want it to work.
And everybody
Anyway.
should tune in to y'all's stream on Sunday. Just
That's
saying.
right. Yeah, for anybody listening in the live chat, we're going to be collaborating with our good friend here, Joey, over at Jump and Shoot on Twitch. What's the exact URL, Joey?
It's actually exactly what you said. Twitch.tv/JOIE Jump and Shoot. Jump and Shoot. So yeah, my
Joey
full
Jump.
legal name right there.
Nice.
Cool.
That's a Christian name.
That
That's a
will
Christian name.
already have passed by the time this episode comes out, but watch the stream of it. It'll be fun.
If you're listening
that's
live,
right.
go check it out. And if you're not listening live, check out the
go
VOD.
back. Yeah, whatever that's called.
Oops, I forgot. My bad.
Time is a flat circle.
Yeah, like Socrates always said. Speaking of Socrates, also we haven't gotten any iTunes reviews in a while. If you leave a 5-star review for us on iTunes, we will read it on the show.
Yep.
You take those 4-star reviews, you shove them up your ass. We want 5-star reviews, and we'll read it out loud. Make it funny,
Or else.
or else.
You'll be embarrassed.
Speaking of embarrassment, why don't we move on to some 2 minutes of hate?
That sounds good. My 2 minutes of hate this week goes to the old job search on the internet. If you're out there, especially now, you're looking for a job, it's tough. And then some of these job applications, you have to take these personality tests. I don't know if you guys have ever done these online, where it's like, when you're applying for a job, you don't want to answer those like honestly, where it's like, how do you feel about hard work or working extra?
Because it could exclude you
obviously, I don't like it. Yeah. Right. But I want to say like very excited on a scale of very excited to not very excited. But then there's like, there's like a lot of these other questions that aren't so obvious. Then it's like, am I answering ideally? Am I answering for myself at one point? Because it seems like after a while, it's like there must be some kind of like result that they see where they kind of like categorize you. Like it's almost like that, that typology test or whatever it's called.
I fucking hate those tests, man. Like, I can't tell you, like, I'll go into a whole thing as quickly as I can because I don't want to fucking steamboat your 2 minutes of hate. But, like, those fucking things where it's like, dude, I've worked with so many different types of people. And you know who my favorite types of people are to work for? Like, people that actually, like, do the work and, like, show up to work and shit. Like I don't care if you're an INTJ or whatever the fuck. I don't care if you're a project coordinator typecast. Like, just do the job. Do your work. Be a nice person. I don't need to be sorted into a fucking category by the Hogwarts hat.
Exactly. And it's like, not every job application does this, but it's like, the second a job goes up on LinkedIn or Indeed or whatever, 100 applicants right away. So, you got to review all these stuff, and who has the time for that, which is like so barbaric because it's like you take the time to write a cover letter, send it's so long to apply to one thing, and then it's like they get 100 responses, and it's like, well, I'm going to filter it to the ENFPs, and that's the only kind of typology we want. So it's like, even if you've got all this experience and everything, it's like, oh well, we don't have the time,
Right. I've applied for those types of jobs where I'm overqualified for the position, and they're like, sorry, we're not looking for a manager. We're looking for a coordinator, and you fit the typology of a coordinator, and we're looking for a manager. And it's like, I've managed, you fucking assholes.
Yeah. And I mean, it just sucks. And it's like, oh, was I supposed to? Maybe if I answered it honestly, I could have gotten it.
I think the point is to just answer it. I think that is the point.
You might be right.
That is like,
you might be right, but
just fill in the circles, man.
Yeah, what Kevin said about like, just answer it honestly. I've heard that so many times, and I feel like when I answer things honestly,
just be yourself.
Yeah, they don't want you to be yourself, or else they wouldn't be asking you questions like,
exactly.
Do you like hard work?
Dude,
like, I don't.
I relate to you a lot on this because I get obnoxious with any kind of test or personality test, and I start to question it. Which is a real big INTJ thing, let me tell you that, buddy. But yeah, so I definitely understand. And like knowing how psychological tests work too, and how they score that stuff makes you kind of like inoculated to it, but it still doesn't make you any happier about having to take it. And then you start like nitpicking it, and it sucks.
And here's like another aspect, because you said the term psychological test, which is hilarious because they're so fucking like ascientific, and like you can go online and you can Google any of those tests, and they're all just like, the methodology of like when they develop this particular test has no basis in any level of like actual functioning psychology that anyone's done any legitimate research on.
Right,
but nonetheless, we're going to use
so
it
much.
and fucking lick our taint and take the goddamn test because you have to if you want fucking money to put a fucking roof over your head. Fuck you.
And even at my old job, we had to take a test while we were there, like just in the system, and it was like, it would like boop, 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 like to calculate what kind of person you were, and it was like, you are a tracker facilitator. My boss is like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like,
you are a minority.
I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this means. Like, am I on a watch list now? And it's like there would be these things where it's like, check in and like see how you feel every day, and it's like so basically it's a way to like keep track of problem employees, or it's like, I'm so mad, I want to select the angry face today.
They're just trying to fucking like it's literal like brainwashing.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's
fuck your horoscope. What's your workplace personality test? I can't wait for that tweet. I'm sure I've seen it.
You could just tweet that right now. That video would do well on TikTok if you were to make a TikTok video.
No. Oh, man. Before the show, Grant was like going into a seminar about TikTok and why it's awesome.
Well,
And-
you kept asking me about it.
I
and I was
did.
just giving my honest opinion.
And I
really
respect
funny.
it. It was just.
Thank you.
I'm just glad that it filtered through the actual episode. That's,
Right.
that's all.
It was actually really funny because when he was done talking, he was like, "Thank you for coming to my TED Talk," and we were all like, "What the fuck, dude? That's so random."
Yeah, I was wearing a big metal chest plate and a red beanie.
So I have a punishment.
Yes.
Go for it.
Here it is.
I can't see the wheel. It's unfortunate.
We don't need a test. We got a wheel. Next time you want to go take a job interview, you got to spin the wheel, and then it tells you if you got the job or not. You don't none of this gobbledygook. I don't want to know what your fucking star sign is. Whatever the hell they're asking. Get in here, spin the wheel, and flip some burgers.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah.
It's
Spin
that
the wheel.
easy.
That's
I mean,
good.
it's basically the same thing. You could just fucking spin a wheel or flip a coin. It's like when people take those tests and it's like, depending on how you feel that day, you could be an INFP or an INTJ or whatever. It's just like,
Totally.
it doesn't matter. None of this matters. It's all made up.
Well,
yes.
it's real to me.
I'm so fucking angry.
Joey, what do you got for us this week? What's not made up in your head?
So I'm gonna piggyback a little bit off of what you were saying, because what's the personality type that does that? I don't know. Anyway, but my thing is people who over-explain excuses or like. So, all right, for example, like let's say you're driving with somebody and then like they just don't turn. You know, they have right away and they don't turn. And they're like, well, I was going to turn.
Oh, no.
And then I just like, I saw the person was walking and it's like, or like, a workplace example would be like, let's say something needs to be cleaned and it didn't get cleaned or whatever. I'm speaking from the context of food service for some reason.
Yeah.
But let's say that happens and, you're like, how come this wasn't clean? Like, well, I was going to do it. And then like, I saw the thing and it's like, just do it. Just do the thing. You don't have to like sit here and explain to me why you didn't do it. Like, just do the fucking thing. Like, why didn't you do it? Just do the fucking thing. I don't need to hear a dissertation as to why it didn't happen. Just
I feel like people are so overly concerned with just like how they come off versus just like their basic utility, sort of thing, which is just like,
100%.
you think I'm an asshole, fine, whatever, but at least I'm gonna like fucking, like you said, at least I'm gonna get done whatever I need to get done. And if I don't, then I'll either do it or fuck you. But it's just like, what? You making the excuses does not make you any more likable. Like
exactly.
It doesn't work like that.
And
If only there was a way to filter out people who in your workplace who might do that.
yeah, if only we could know everybody's personality type and then to adjust to it accordingly.
Huh. I have to change my mind on that one. No, I'm just kidding. Joey, what else?
Oh, man. So like, I feel like that's just a very big millennial thing in general. Like, I feel like that's like the thing of our cohort, that I feel like it's exclusive to people between the ages of like 26 and 35. I don't think anyone of any other age does this as much, but maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And what would I do? What would my punishment be? Just make them do the thing. Like, just that's it.
Just fucking do it.
It's that fucking it is such a simple concept that can just be done. So like, okay, here's an example too of this. When the heating dude came to look at my humidifier that was leaking,
Mario
and Luigi came too.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
Don't even tell me you rolled in on Yoshi.
Yeah. So like after Mario came in, another guy who was taller and skinnier came in, and it was
and he had green skin.
Green skin, and he smelled real weird, and he was like using slurs. It was fucked up. But
and his laugh was just a pitched down ghost laugh.
Right, exactly. And I was like, so it was like leaking into the humidifier is leaking into the furnace, right? So he's like, yeah, it could have like it could affect the furnace. I was like, can you check? He's like, well, yeah, I was gonna do that, but then I was like, just fucking do it.
Right.
So that's the kind of shit. That's
also how I speak to union workers.
Oh yeah, no,
just
get
yelling. To work. No, I know what you mean though. Where it's just like, man, certain things, like I don't know. It reminds me of like being on a phone call like with my mom and her being like, hey,
Just do it, Mom!
no, where she's like, hey, could you look something up for me? Or could you do this one task for me? And I'm like, sure. And she goes, because I need it done because I'm trying to do this and I can't figure it out. So could you do this? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, because I keep trying to figure this out. And I had someone at work look at it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And she's like,
yeah,
well, because I figured you could help me. And it's
exactly.
like, I understand the concept of could you do it? I said yes multiple times. I will do it. And it's like, I think, analogous to sort of that.
I'm saving my breath for the podcast. Stop talking.
Exactly.
It's actually kind of funny, Grant, because I remember last time that we had this section. I don't know, whatever it's called. We both related this conversation. We both related this back to our parents. So there's like some kind of underlying repression going on here.
Oh, there's all sorts of repressions going on.
That needs to be. I realized when I was saying that, though, that I sounded very bootstrapsy. And it's like I thought of this idea, this concept of like a dude who runs a gaming podcast who's like super bootstrapsy and like annoyingly libertarian like that. Like,
there's a lot of those people. I think it's like most of them.
A nothing podcast like mine. Like I have like, I don't know, 100 followers on there. Like I guess it makes sense if you have a following and you have a community or whatever. But nothing is sadder than having shitty political opinions with no audience, I think.
Well, I feel like
you prefer they have a large megaphone.
Exactly. I mean, at least it makes sense. Like in a way, it's contextual. But it's just like I want to perpetuate that. Maybe that's what I'll do. Is just like perpetuate the idea of this shitty gaming podcast guy who like says insensitive things and comes on here.
I feel like
and
people
slurs.
can also sort of extrapolate a lot of political opinions from what just consists of being like normal conversation too, which is very irritating. Just like, no wonder this guy is blank political persuasion. Just listen to him talk about how he, talked to his plumber or whatever. And it's like, yeah, like maybe we're just like fucking around on a podcast. Maybe it doesn't mean that I'm a alt-right guy or a socialist or whatever the fuck. Maybe I'm just dicking
only
around
person that actually applies to is Ben Shapiro. I think that he's the exception
because that's
to
his
that.
entire personality. Is like, did you know I'm conservative? It's like, yeah, we all fucking know, man. Stop bringing it up.
Did you know?
I kind of like that Ben Shapiro. Honestly, I like that. I think that Grant should focus more on impressions in this podcast. That's
I try and do impressions when I can, but I fucking hate that guy, man.
Dude,
it's so
sucks.
irritating. Everything you think about, everything has to have a political slant. Can't you just fucking watch Sesame Street with your children without having to bring up the fact that they're trying to like get you to accept minorities, which isn't acceptable, and that it's left leaning because of that? Nobody cares.
That's got to be exhausting.
It is exhausting. He wrote an entire book on that, about how all television is left leaning, and it's just like, man, could you just fucking watch Game of Thrones and shut the fuck up? Complain about it like the rest of us, and not about how it's trying to do away with traditional family values.
Well, I do think that to some extent, like a lot of media that's made in the last like 4 to 5 years is very political and has a certain like angle or something they're, trying to say, whether you agree or disagree with it.
And that's a lot of media in general.
I would say even to some extent, like even like 10 years ago, and it was just like, just pulpy entertainment. Just sit back, get some popcorn, whatever. And
but you had some playful things like in like the fucking Golden Girls and shit like that. Like they had like characters that were struggling with the concept of like, what if a person is gay and is trying to like wants to get married or something?
Yeah.
Like it
once in a while,
yeah.
Once in a while, but now it's like everything is that. It's nice to have like popcorn entertainment once in a while, and it's hard to find modern media that does that. So what I'm trying to say is I agree with Mr. Shapiro.
Yes. I feel like there's that constant adage that you hear from that side. It's like, it must be exhausting to be offended all the time, but it's like you're exhausting yourself being offended all the time at people who are exhausted being offended. I don't mean to be like philosophy 101 meta with that, but like it really is the case. with that rhetoric, I think.
This will segue into what I had, for my 2 minutes I hate this week, which is political based, because of course, but it's political based again, and from the sense of like what offends me, which
must be exhausting.
Man,
being
it's so exhausting.
Always offended.
Which is just like if something's overtly political and people sort of want to debate it on its merits or whatever. I always go back to the merits. The merits are the big thing. Anything that has merits, I'm all in for it. But like one thing that I've noticed about how people talk about politics lately is that they can't even be bothered to read a Wikipedia article on like what they're talking about at all. And it's like, man, if you have a certain bias or whatever, or you like ascribe to a certain ideology and you see the world through that lens, fine. I don't care all that much.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Knock yourself out.
But like when people just sort of like blatantly spread misinformation and they can't even be bothered to like look it up, or when someone's like, well, actually blank is blank, and they just sort of like, and you see this, I think, a lot. A good example of this is like the political, what do you call the fucking four-cornered
compass.
The compass.
Yeah.
The political compass, and like how people just don't understand like just basic concepts but still spewed like stupid shit. I remember this Twitter thread of someone that was like, they looked up the word anarchism and they were like, oh, a state of no government. And people were like, actually, it's a little more complicated than that, because like anarchism is like, the foundation of the word means against hierarchy. And there's many different ideologies within the ideology. And the guy was like, well, this is the dictionary.com definition that I got, and I'm just going to keep responding with this. And it's just like, yeah, just okay, whatever. Or like with what's happening right now in the stock market, people are like, oh, quit. They're tweeting at Robinhood app. Stop with this commie bullshit. And it's like, yeah, man, foundational communism. When a corporation does something, you got it. Or like when people misunderstand a distinction between like socialism versus free markets, and it's like, you could have like market socialism, and they're like, no, because it's inherently, and it's just like, just don't even read the Wikipedia article. That's the least you can do, is go to en.wikipedia.fucking.org, and you could just read an article about market socialism. And then if you decide you don't like it, like, fine. But you can't even Google things. And then when you Google things, you just put a dictionary.com definition of what you think this is. And then when people say, well, here's a fucking book that I read on it, and here's what this has to say, you just keep posting the same screenshot, and you do none of the work. And yet you still like just pour out this fucking drivel that gets sucked up through my fucking eye holes.
Man, Grant's on some shit when he links Wikipedia as en.wikipedia and not just wikipedia.com. So that's serious shit.
Hey, wait, not to exclude our friends who don't speak English.
Right.
There's all sorts of, versions of the website you could log on to. It's crazy.
I can't believe I had to press one for
things,
English on Wikipedia. It's fucked up.
Makes me sick.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to belabor that point too much. That's bothered me for a long time, and I've wanted to bring that up. I think that's sort of towards the top of the list. So people that just don't do the basic groundwork to talk about shit always fucking bothers me.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Especially when you're just like, thank you. Especially when you're like engaging in some sort of like conversational back and forth with someone, and you can't even just like accept that maybe some people know something that's different than you. Not even more, just something that's different than you. That you're speaking from some position of authority, but you realize that your limitations of knowledge don't extend to the far reaches of what everybody else knows, and that maybe sometimes somebody knows something you don't know, and that you're completely unwilling to just like foundationally even begin to try and understand that point of view so that you can even meaningfully engage with it.
Right. It's actually funny. I see this a lot like in the quote unquote gaming sphere. And I've said this on my podcast when you guys were on, but like I hate
fucking gamers. I hate capital G gamers. I hate the word. I hate everything applied to it. But like
you
see this kind of discourse where, it's kind of the opposite actually, because you see people trying to, have I guess, vertical progression in topics instead of horizontal. So like people just like start trying to pile on facts about stuff that don't really matter, like very specific things,
Right.
like like minutia that just like maybe this was made at this exact day, or this guy worked on this thing before this thing, and like logistics that don't matter, instead of talking about like what actually is happening in the game.
I blame Did You Know Gaming.
Oh yeah, elaborate on that, Kevin.
Too many facts.
Too many facts.
I blame GameFAQs.com.
The source of it all.
The source of it
Makes
all.
sense.
Which I thought it was the other F word when I was a kid, and I remember giggling at that when my friend showed it to me when I was 12 years old. And I
So
was,
you didn't know what a Q was? Or?
okay, dude, I'm legally blind, and that Q is deceptive. Okay, it looked like a G.
Jamie, pull up that logo.
Let's see
All
that.
right,
Let's see
well,
that logo.
Anyway, just to sort of wrap this up, because I do want to talk about how we're
that's
going
right.
to tank the American economy.
Mhm.
My punishment for this 2 minutes of hate is just fucking read the Wikipedia article. My solution is very similar to Joey's, which is just fucking do it. Like, if somebody tells you something, just read. That should be the bare minimum. Is if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, just look it up. Do 2 minutes of reading. You're scrolling through Twitter for hours and hours. Just do 2 minutes of reading. Maybe click a link every once in a while. But like, you're already doing it. We know that you're already doing it. Maybe instead of doing it for video games, you do it for when you open your mouth about economics or whatever the fuck. Anyway, that's it.
Hell yeah, brother.
We're going to take a quick break here to hear a word from our sponsors, so we'll be right back.
On episode 3 of Jack.
We're getting jacked.
Wait, is the future?
Cyber connections.
We're about to walk into something that doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, and it's sure as hell not gonna make any sense to you.
It looks like that was an old, what is Orange Julius?
The good thing about being a hero is heroes get whatever they want. It looks like 4 or 5 police helicopters have passed the van and are heading towards the Bay Bridge.
What is that smell?
I think that's a little gasoline, a little gunpowder, a little bit of blood, probably. Oh, there's only one way in and out of this place, pal. And you are not allowed to use it. You don't do the hiring on Treasure Town. We do the hiring. You do all of the hiring on Treasure Town. All of it. Turn him over, and you can walk away a rich man.
Mm-hmm. And the alternative is...
The alternative is none of you survive this.
We're getting jacked.
Attitude is everything.
Real-time processing power and your fingertips.
Sensation upgrade.
We're getting jacked.
Jacked, a Cyberpunk RPG podcast. Listen to episode 3 at patreon.com/Asterios.
All right, everybody, welcome back. If you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outrage-inducing news stories, and then we sentence each perpetrator to a cruel and often quite unusual punishment. Now, okay, let's talk about the story that's on everybody's lips this week. I'm talking about Ryan Reynolds' R-rated story from his time on Sesame Street. And then we're talking about Sesame Street again on Thought Cops. Everybody's probably sick of hearing this. Other baby stuff. As Ryan Reynolds was blowing up the internet this week when he had a funny story about what happened on his time as, what was it, the letter A or something?
Yeah, well, in BuzzFeed, the BuzzFeed Twitter account would like to point out that Twitter collectively gasped at this.
I don't remember doing that.
We all did it. You did it too. I remember you doing it.
God, I hate language like that. I hate language like that. It's
BuzzFeed never really changes, does it? They're still like talking the same way from like 2012.
I love that anachronistic thing, though. I think that's awesome. I'm so glad that there's something that is like becoming collectively hated, though. Like, so do people take BuzzFeed seriously like anymore? I don't know.
So they have a investigative journalism outlet through BuzzFeed that they're allowed to do because they make so much money from their dumb fucking listicles. But I think that's the only aspect of that that's worth doing.
So I'm gonna read the tweet here that's got everybody gasping. Ryan Reynolds. I remember how challenging it was to sing because the a-hole was so tight.
Oh, no, he didn't.
But I pushed through because kids all over the country were counting on me. And I'm like, did that guy just say a-hole? What is it? Wow. I feel like I'm following Deadpool on Twitter. Oh, he is Deadpool? That makes a lot of sense.
Did you know he's also Detective Pikachu?
No.
All right, that's enough. That's enough internet for today.
No, that's so random.
What the fuck?
That's so fucking random, dude. Ow.
So yeah, we all remember gasping at that
right,
at the same exact time. It was just a collective experience.
Right.
Most of us didn't know why we were doing it, but we'd soon find out.
Right.
Because Ryan Reynolds made a joke.
Is that enough red herring segment before we talk about the collapse of the American economy?
Yeah, let's punish it real quick. Ryan Reynolds. You got to come on this show, and I don't want to hear any dirty jokes about it afterwards.
Yeah, keep it clean, Ryan.
Be professional, for God's sakes. Kids look up to you. So the stock market is crashing.
Right. We did it, Reddit.
We did it. Together.
For once. We can all say that and not say it sarcastically.
Oops.
So where to begin? I know, Grant, this may be the most detailed Google Doc we've ever had for a story on
Look at
Thought
all
Cops.
of these bullet points.
Yeah, this looks like notes right here.
There's so many bullet points on here. I think I'm at a shooting range where they fire bullets into stuff. It's like bullets in holes.
So I honestly, I don't know where to start other than just chronologically, because I mean it's a big fucking just mess. It's a big pile of shit.
Okay, so start us off. The invention of money.
The invention of money. It goes back to I don't want to waste time on this because there's so fucking much. So if anybody's we talked about GameStop at the very beginning of the lockdown, because as we all know, GameStop is an essential service. And when everybody else was like, oh, our essential workers, meaning healthcare workers, grocery store workers, they all need to work. Everybody else sit at home and collect unemployment. GameStop was like, well, our workers are essential. So they sent them all out there. And then after a while, people were like, this is bad. You should send your workers home. And then they did. And then their stocks plummeted. And it was like, this might be the end of GameStop. Hundreds of stores across the country closed, and it was like a big ordeal. And it's like, yeah, we're seeing the end of GameStop. It's not going to be along any longer.
Yeah, we talked about it here.
I wish
you heard it here.
You heard it here first. Nobody else was talking about it, and then we were talking about it. And then lately, GameStop's stocks have been like bumping up, and then they like it was weird, and people are like, what's going on with the stocks? And then they sort of like went back down. But then they went up again, and people are like, "What's being attributed to this? How is this happening? Who's buying stock in GameStop? You know?" And it's all linked back to Reddit.com.
Yes.
Where else can you buy Funko Pops in person in this economy?
Well, so just real quick, so they were trying to fuck up the stocks because because they did
the shorts.
Yeah, because of console shortages, and it was like, sleazy hedge fund stuff. And it's like I just what I find most appalling about this, and especially from the context of like what I do for like fun and content creation and whatever, is that like this is the thing that gets people interested in how fucked up the stock market is. Like it takes the capital G word to get people to be like, oh, maybe that's messed up. Like it's it's so frustrating.
I know.
Well, I think because it's fine. It was more so the reaction to it, I think, that sort of started the spreading of exactly what was happening, because it's like, obviously, there's so much to fucking unpack with it. That's a good starting point, right? So far with where we're at.
Yes.
Yeah, I follow you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Everybody at home? You following along?
I'm collectively gasping.
Yeah. So, all right, Grant, we were done gasping now.
Well, I'm trying to organize my thoughts.
It's hard to parse this because there's so much to it. And
truly.
And it's like, now it is a really interesting thing because you see like reaction and counter reaction, the way a market should work. But it's still like heavily weighted toward, the people who control it because they have the means to do so. Like,
right.
They were trying to basically bully people into like selling their stock for cheap again. And then so people were doing it and it was just regurgitating the same cycle. So it is interesting to see people like actually be proactive about it and get interested in it. But at the same time, it's like, it's also, I don't really know if it's going to like actually do anything. It might actually make things worse for like casual traders because Casual Traders is the name of my sea shanty fucking swashbuckling band, by the way.
Oh boy,
nice.
We can't do that anymore.
Sorry, I had to bring it up. But yeah, like I used to do like day trading stuff. I quit my shitty food service job to do day trading stuff for a while, and it was like, here I'm perpetuating that libertarian identity I've cultivated for myself.
Yeah, right. Gamer, day trader. What else, Joey?
I don't really have anything else interesting about myself. Just those two things.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Oh, pedophile. Yeah, somebody in the chat said pedophile. Definitely.
Great.
That's.
I thought you just were like, oh, right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I just fucked a bunch of kids.
I had to introduce myself as such.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm not on mic. I'm just fucking kids. But when I wasn't fucking kids,
Jesus Christ!
I was not trading GameStop stocks. No, because it's like that. This was like in 2013 or 14, I think, and like GameStop stocks were so weird then that this kind of thing is just miraculous to me to see. And I was like, where I'm going with this, I don't know, but it's the fact that.
Well, I think the interesting thing that you're saying is that like. So there's sort of a disconnect in terms of like what the effect will be, because I think that there's sort of like the psychological effect and then like the material effect. And the material effect is what you said, which is that like they are going to buckle down on this, and they already have. So a lot of these like apps and like websites and like financial institutions and shit like that have said, you're not allowed to do this anymore. Like you purchasing these stocks and like the way that everyone sort of collectively has like used this as a bargaining chip is not allowed to happen. And to the point where like they banned trading of certain stocks. And I believe arguably that Robinhood like has been selling people's stocks, quote, for their own good. I don't know. I mean, so far as I can tell, as of this recording today, which I guess we should mention the date just for, because by the time this episode comes out, who knows what the fuck could happen. Right. This is Thursday. If I check my phone, Thursday.
I will have been arrested
January
for
28th.
pedophilia by then. So that's where we are.
This episode will be scrubbed because everything Joey said will be removed from history. No, as of today, you could not buy further stocks from GameStop or AMC Theaters. And there were like a couple other ones, but those are the two main ones. Yeah. And then Robinhood said, hey, we're sorry. Tomorrow you can, but it's going to be limited. And it's not for anyone's particular interest. Yeah, no one's making us do this, all right? Yeah, all right, we just thought... Yeah, and then it's like apparently there's like fine print like in like because people are talking about a potential class action lawsuit, and there's like stuff in the fine print that says you got to squint really, really, really hard to see it, where they can kind of say, well, maybe we can do what we want to do, and it's like I don't know if that's totally legally actionable or not. Right. That's the debate right now.
Well, reactive trading like that is very, very common, and it's everywhere, but the thing is that it garners so much more attention considering the circumstance here. Oh yeah. So that is kind of why I never thought I would see like a trading app just straight up make a statement like that. That's completely surreal to me.
Well, and the funny the funniest, the absolute funniest fucking part of it is the fact that Robinhood, the app, is called Robinhood. Now, if we all remember the story of Robinhood, Robinhood stole from the rich and gave to the poor, and their whole thing is like, we're gonna democratize the stock market. You can buy stocks. You just go on your phone and you could just buy a stock. You just have stocks. Your entire stock portfolio on your phone at your fingertips at all times. All the big shots in the fucking New York Stock Exchange, they wish that they had this technology, okay? Everything that they have, you have at your fingertips. We're going to disperse all this money. There's a bunch of fucking money. It's out there. It's yours for the taking. And then people go, okay. Oh, okay. I'll take some of this money, please. And they go, no, not you.
Not like that.
Not like that.
You can't do this. And so you're seeing all these fucking like insane people that are defending like the stock market and the concept of the stock market.
I haven't seen like too much though, and like we mentioned this earlier, Graham, before the show was
right.
Like this is going to sound like a very strange comparison, so bear with me. This almost feels like the Jeffrey Epstein situation,
right?
In that, like.
You're just saying this because I made the comment about fucking kids.
No. Because of the fact that it's like basically everybody's on the same page in regards to like this is completely fucked.
Yeah,
right.
We don't buy the official story.
Exactly.
We absolutely do not buy the official story of like. There's all these people that are like. I think Ben Shapiro to bring him up again. Ben Shapiro made a thing
Smart
about
man.
like how people are saying like, oh, because the stock market's they're saying that it's like a casino and you're just cashing in your chips and it's definitely not that. And it's like, it definitely is that.
Okay.
You're just fucking betting with other people's fucking money and you're hoping that the fucking roulette ball lands on fucking red.
No, you know what? I actually have to disagree a little bit because I almost... It's not quite a casino. It is a casino, but it's a rigged
not
casino.
Exactly that, but it's like that's the argument that's being like that it's being framed as,
right.
And it's like, but people aren't fucking buying it because like it's being fucking slanted against people.
You know, it is a casino, but it's Martin Scorsese's casino. That's the best analogy I can think of, where it's completely stacked.
Marty.
Did I say Mario Scorsese?
No, I said Marty. It's like I'm talking like a guy who pretends he's familiar. with it.
Oh, Marty. Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, I love Marty's flicks. Yeah,
I thought we were bringing
Marty
this
used
back
to call me
Mario again, and that's really what I want. Mario Scorsese's Galaxy 2 is really what I wanted to see. But yeah, no, it is like a casino that's incredibly rigged, like even more so. You know, like
right,
and yeah, so it is absolutely fucked. It's like you know. You cannot make money to that extent and to be able to buy stocks to that extent if you're going in like investing and trading with $2,000. Like, yeah, you can incrementally, but by the time like you get enough money, like all the billionaires and rich ass people who run the casino have been making, you know, way fucking more. And it's just it's so frustrating to hear that. And then like people sharing that on both sides. And they're like, they think that this is like this big, like anarchistic, diplomatic or democratic thing where like you're sticking it to the man. And it's like, you're also sticking it to other hedge funders and like other stock wieners, like who definitely have seen this kind of thing before, but not like in as public of a forum with such a strange demographic. Like, I mean, again, you got like gamers crawling in here, like roaches. You know, being like, I'm going to buy $200 in GameStop stock.
And so that's also like one of the framing tools that people are using for that, which is people are saying like, oh, I have so many fucking like.
Are you talking about that one tweet?
I have so many tweets. I have so many fucking tweets to pull up, which
I just think it's funny that so many anime avatars are giving stock advice. I really need to point attention to that because that really like, I don't know how I feel about that. I just don't know.
Well, I saw this one tweet. It was this guy talking about, so you do everything right. You go to law school. You get a job at
I saw that too.
And then he's like, and then you end up losing everything to a bunch of high school dropouts who eat chicken tenders.
which is just like, man, if you built your way up to that job and that's the result, maybe get a real fucking job. Maybe learn to fucking code, huh? Maybe fucking learn how to code.
That's pretty pathetic, man.
Yeah. That's pretty embarrassing. That's a pretty big cell phone.
Cell phone. I have seen so many comparisons to Persona 5 and the Phantom Thieves with this that, like, I really do want to shoot myself. Like, I just...
Has there been a letter from the Phantom Thieves to Wall Street yet?
I'm sure some sick fuck has done it somewhere.
Yeah. I think there's an account on Twitter they're anonymous, but it's like, we're just Persona 5 themed.
yeah, just anonymous, but that is disgusting.
So I found the tweet that I was trying to find, which is by this guy Jeremy C. Owens, who I believe he's a contributor to like Marketplace or whatever. His entire Twitter account is like under lock and key right now because he was getting so much fucking hate, which is rightfully deserved. So we wrote an article about this and he links to it. But the tweet that I was looking up is, I get that people think it's funny when bad things happen to Wall Street types, but this GameStop thing is not a joke. Yes, it is. These are stock traders conspiring to manipulate the markets in open view for all of us, which, by the way, all this stock market shit happens not in open view anyway. So, like Joey was saying, like the fact that people now are aware of this and savvy to it because of this is a good thing. So he says there are stock traders conspiring to manipulate the markets in open view for us all and using the it's for the lulz and the other side sucks as an excuse. Fuck this guy. Fuck all of these people.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, and like people were bringing up the fact that it's like, yeah, all of these fucking pearl clutchers are worried about their fucking hedge funds and shit like that. And it's like, we have a global pandemic that's killing like millions of people, and we don't give. We're fighting over $2,000 checks, and as we're trying to as most of us are trying to barely scrape by. These people are like, what about my billions of dollars? Like, fuck your billions of dollars.
Yeah, because the chance that we could get some of that, they're like, hold up.
Right.
You know, it's incredibly upsetting.
This
is a comedy show. Let's laugh.
Let's talk more about Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah,
and
Jeffrey Epstein, sort of an inspiration to you. I know you mentioned before. You kind of look up to the guy.
I did. You know, like
his work. You said something about his work inspired you.
Looking up to him while he's hanging on the ceiling is the best thing. But I think it's like it's almost like we've this whole GameStop situation is sort of. This is a trite talking point for sure, but it's like a vicarious or makeshift stimmy, you know, and it's like. That's kind of what people need right now, and it almost makes me suspicious. This whole thing makes me suspicious in a way. I don't know, man. It's like it's giving people something that they feel like they could use because they can use it during a time where there's kind of very little help with that. So I think there's a positive message in there somewhere. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't know. I think that this is very collectively just like a fuck you to all these people that, like, once again, I think are pearl clutching. And I have a good example of this, which...
real quick, too, I want to say it's just funny seeing, like, we're at this very interesting impasse in culture and society right now where television media is... not nearly as relevant as it was even 5 years ago, where our TV news is talking about how this is bad, or they're like spinning the story, and then the internet's like, nope. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, no, they're right. And it's like everybody's like on the internet now, and they're like, yeah, no, this is bullshit. That's not true. And like everybody's like, yeah, it is bullshit. And they're just like so desperate. They're bought out. They're trying to say whatever they can on the news and everything to spin this one way or the other. Like Reddit is this, Reddit, you know, these people are that, and trying to like get the culture war involved in some cases. And it's just like, no.
Dude,
and then
there's that South Park
that's it.
episode?
And then it's like end of story. No, that's not what's happening.
There's that South Park episode about it where Cartman farts It's real funny, dude. And
Hold on. Hey, is there a South Park season right now? Because if not, I can't wait to see what they're going to say.
I
about this whole
can't
thing.
fucking wait for the Simpsons episode, dude. I'm
Fuck.
man, I
I'm
can't
gonna come so hard in that time.
They can't put them out fast enough for me to watch them.
Yeah. I can't wait to see how the Simpsons fucking predicted this.
So speaking of predictions, so
In
this
1970.
this
No, I'm
guy Jake Offenhartz, which I don't fucking know, he posts a thing on Twitter, and it's a screen cap of CNBC, and he goes, listening to irate New York hedge fund billionaire Leon Cooperman on CNBC, now lamenting people, quote, sitting at home getting their checks from the government, trading their stocks.
Oh, fuck you.
And then he says, this fair share is a bullshit concept, he shouts. It's a way of attacking wealthy people. And again, I think it's just like all of this shit's culminating to a head of like, we've all been fucking struggling. Like people are losing their houses. People are dying of this fucking coronavirus. We're told we're going to get $2,000 checks. And then they say, oh, well, actually, it's just $1,400 because 14 plus 600 is 1,400 plus 600 equals 2,000.
And
so
we have
like
to wait
that's
9
the same
months
thing.
for
We have
that.
to wait 9 fucking months. It's too little, too late. And they're just saying like, yeah, you're attacking us. Like, no, like literally fuck you. Like literally fuck you. I hope that all of these fucking companies go belly up. And like that's one of the things that's fucking happening right now is I think it was like Citadel or like a lot of these like hedge fund management places are starting to like divest from these stocks because they're just like, we're losing. They lost like $14 billion or something. And it's like, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
None of us fucking care. And like, I'm reading these Reddit threads from this, from Wall Street. What the fuck? Wall Street Bets. I'm reading these threads and these people are like, you know, I grew up poor. I don't have any fucking money. You think I'm afraid to lose $1,000 worth of stocks? Go fuck yourself. Like,
yeah,
I don't care. Like, we're all scraping by, and it's like the perfect culmination of just like everything that's going wrong in the world as people are literally again clutching fucking pearls.
Right.
I'm probably gonna buy more more AMC stock tomorrow as soon as I can.
Good.
Well, going back to the Mario Scorsese's casino analogy, like I mean, even if these people do lose money, it's not like the 5 nondescript Italian Americans in a nondescript place can just bail them out, or they can rather. So it's like even if they're losing money off this, it's not like they're going to be ruined. It's not like like somebody middle class or lower middle class losing this money and like getting screwed out of like a couple grand in the stock market and it being like impossible to recover. But like like again, the playing field is not exactly even here too. And I think it's I think it's interesting that you see like the true cops come out of the woodwork with this too, because like coworkers and stuff who said stuff. I was listening to my girlfriend's like work call today, and one of the guys on the work call was like, I don't know if this is a good thing because it's like these people these hedge funders are actually losing a lot of money, and it's like they're people losing money, and it's like, dude, what?
To put it succinctly, I saw a cartoon of I saw a cartoon of
over here.
Silence. I saw a cartoon. I got to talk about my cartoon. I saw a cartoon of Scrooge McDuck, and he was laying on a big pile of money, and he was crying, and he said, "Oh no, I'm losing $600 billion a minute. In 100 years, I'll be bankrupt." It's that's the perfect way to fucking put that. It's just like, yeah, oh man, I lost. Collectively, you all lost $14 billion. So you all like barely lost anything
like,
compared to how much you all own.
Lest we forget, what is Scrooge McDuck going to jump off a diving board into if not a large pile of gold coins?
Well, there is that one gag where he jumps up and all the money is gone. Like somebody takes it, like robs the bank, and then he just hits the ground. But he's fine.
Reddit.
But then he's fine because he has insurance because he's still rich and he has assets.
Yep.
And that's right. It's not like billionaires have $14 billion in their I mean, I'm sure Bezos does. But like it's not like there's like a bank account that reads $14,364,000,000, it's like it's all
that's a lot of zeros.
It's all the fucking assets, dude. Cuz she's got a great asset. That's why.
Hell yeah.
That's exactly. Redistribute Scrooge McDuck's money pool in the chat. Yes, definitely.
So shit. What haven't we talked about? Because there's so fucking much, and I was telling Kevin before the show, it's just like I could talk about this shit for 2 hours, but like I feel like I'll only get halfway through every. Like, am I missing any big points with this?
Probably could have stood to talk more about the last story a little longer. You know, that's fine though. We'll talk about this.
I don't want to be in between this.
Myself.
I don't want to be in between this. I don't like.
I'm gonna wrap.
He said a-hole because he was in a big letter A, Grant.
I'm gonna wrap the microphone cable around my neck and just off myself.
No, I just don't think you got the joke because I said it earlier and I looked over at you. You weren't laughing.
Yeah, because it was like a-hole, like it was like an asshole, but it also meant literally a.
His face was like in the middle of the letter. You know,
someone said, someone on Twitter made the comment, this is the banking equivalent of unplugging the controller. How all these places, like, again, they all get away with doing this for however long. They all do it. And then it's like, yeah, a couple losers on Reddit all collectively go and they're like, hey, we want to also make some money. We found this one way to do it. And all the banks just go, oh, you can't do this anymore. It's like the perfect fucking analogy.
The grubby little kid
gamer stuff,
controller.
You know?
Yeah,
kind of ties it all together.
You're just doing that for me, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, Joey, it's like if Sonic gets hit by a bad guy and all the rings fall out of him.
Yeah,
does that help you?
Oh, I get it.
For crying out loud,
but you can never really collect all the rings. I mean, it's not like feasible because they disappear before you can get them all. But the real question is,
there is a brief moment you can grab them up again, though.
Right, but like, I mean, do you really need all of them? You only need like a couple rings. As long as you have one ring, you can collect it again and then live, right?
That is true.
So this is the analogy that I'm presenting to you.
Speaking of things that are true, this Twitter user Justin Kahn, who, I don't know, he does a podcast or whatever, who cares? He says, just got a tip that Citadel reloaded their shorts before they told Robinhood to stop trading. If this is true, Ken Griffin and Robinhood founders should be in jail. This is class warfare.
It's insider trading even more.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
That's even more.
Except, again, like, do we really think that are any people going to go to prison for this? Is anybody going to go to jail for any of this, like, insider trading shit? Like, we already saw what happened with the fucking 2006, 2007, like, or well, the bailout was 2008. So the 2008 bailout crisis and how not a single person went to jail for any of that shit. They fucking sat on information. No, the fact that they're openly breaking the law and like there's going to be no account, held to.
I for one would like to hear from Bernie if he wasn't so busy sitting.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Take those mittens off, Bernie.
I mean, I really hate those memes. I really hate those memes. And I saw a tweet that was like, actually, it's really offensive that Bernie would be showing this kind of disdain as a woman of color is taking office.
Yeah, I mean, it's simply toxic. I think we can all agree that it's toxic masculinity at its apex.
It's not just an 80-year-old man sitting in a chair when it's 20 degrees out.
No, not at all.
No, it's not.
No, he's scowling on purpose. My favorite reaction to that type of stuff is when people are like, yeah, well, you can say that, but I think what you're posting is anti-Semitic. It's the best reaction.
Oh, I love the internet. I love talking about it.
It's so good, dude. Oh, man. Well, I mean, like, really, like, wearing the same jacket that he did in the other meme was just proving, like, his hegemony.
Oh, the jacket that cost $7 million, lest we forget.
Let's not forget that. So that's gross. I see in here too. I just
kind of gross NGL.
I hate this like deification of any politician really, and like every time like AOC stuff is brought up, I just like kind of roll my eyes, and it's like. Yeah, do I like her like social media personality? Sure. Like it's better than most or whatever. But like I have to say this dip on Cruz was pretty sick. I was a big fan of this.
Yeah, I was just about to get to that also.
Yeah, it kind of makes me glad I hung on to those underwear I stole from the Capitol of hers.
Oh yeah.
A few weeks ago.
Smelling good now?
Oh yeah.
just to catch everybody up with what Joey's talking about, AOC tweets out, "This is unacceptable. We now need to know more about Robinhood app's decision to block retail investors from purchasing stock, while hedge funds are freely able to trade the stock as they see fit," which is another aspect I forgot to say, which is that as they were blocking you and me from being able to trade these, normal people that work on Wall Street were still capable of doing whatever the fuck they wanted, which is another just sort of like block out the poors. You're supposed to be playing the lottery, not the stock market.
Here, have a scratch off.
She says, as a member of the Financial Services Committee, I'd support a hearing if necessary. Ted Cruz goes, fully agree, and then does the little downward pointing emoji. And then she responds with, I'm happy to work with Republicans on this issue where there's common ground, but you almost had me murdered 3 weeks ago, so you can sit this one out. Happy to work with almost any other GOP that aren't trying to get me killed. In the meantime, if you want to help, you can resign, which... yeah, I would love to see Ted Cruz resign. I fucking hate Ted Cruz.
I mean, I would like to see him more than resign. I
would like to see him stuck like a pig over a roasting fire and just fucking eat him.
In Minecraft.
It's like
Minecraft.
You're like
Thank
reading.
You.
We did it.
It's like you're reading my mind.
Yeah, there you go. No, yeah, I have to say that was a really good dunk. A slam dunk, even. But that being said, I think there's something extremely fucked up when, like politicians are like openly acknowledging the fact that there were death threats, and not even threats, but like death actions, like attempted murder. That's wow. This is the next stage.
I saw some people on Twitter who were like mad about that. They're like, yeah, she had to shut down the one time when the whole world can come together.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my God, dude.
Maybe you can just sit down.
Dude, Ted Cruz's wife is bitch. Like one of the managing partners of fucking like Goldman Sachs.
Yep.
He does not give a fuck about the stock market. I'm sorry to say, Mr. Ted Cruz, small government man, does not give a fuck about regulating the fucking stock market.
Nope. Not one iota.
I will say, though, the one embarrassing thing about this whole situation is all the weird signaling to Elon Musk on Reddit.
Dude.
Where they put up the Wall Street bets. It's like, and Mr. Musk, if you're watching, hi. And it's like that pleading face emoji. All right. Maybe these guys are kind of cringe after all.
I hate Elon Musk so much. I don't know. Whoever follows me on Twitter has seen this a couple times, but anytime Elon Musk tweets anything, I go out of my way to respond with, shut up.
Oh, I've seen this.
Quiet.
I've liked a couple of these.
Enough. Nobody asked you. Nobody wants to hear from you. He's like he needs constant validation from the neckbeard narwhal bacon people. At all times, he constantly needs everybody to know exactly how cool he is, and he's the lamest fucking 50-year-old man trying to hello fellow kids the internet, and I don't fucking buy it. I don't buy it.
I think the hair plugs are really what made me not trust him. Like how he was like definitely losing his hair and then it miraculously came back.
He was, yeah.
I think that's
what made me not trust him? How he posts memes.
Oh, yeah, they're unhinged.
You're the richest man on earth, sir.
It's like last week, people stopped singing sea shanties, not because of the racist stuff, but because Elon Musk mentioned it.
Yeah, he ruined it. He ruined everything.
Maybe we can use that as weaponize that energy for this kind of stuff to just shut this stuff down, just weaponize Elon Musk in that capacity.
I think there's definitely potential there.
We can make it.
Maybe that could be part of the punishment here.
Weaponizing Elon Musk.
Yeah, he's every time.
I don't want this having anything to do with Elon Musk. I'm so angry at the corporate elites, these hedge fund managers, these billionaires. It's all about the billionaires.
Grant, Zwick, go ahead, beep that out because we say people of wealth.
Oh, right,
here.
It's people of wealth. They're the world's POWs. Smallest minority, and they're so horrifically persecuted
in their POW camps.
Yeah, you're joking.
That was yes. It's a humor, some light gamer humor. for you.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so like, I know you guys keep joking, but it's like I've been fuming about this all fucking day because it's like everybody's like been complaining about with American politics and our economic system has just like it's culminated to a head, and it's just like it fucking makes me so angry, and I'm glad that people are sort of on board with seeing that, like, yeah, hey, like the capitalism is not the concept of markets. Markets have and can exist in any fucking economic system, but capitalism is literally people with capital investing their capital and making more capital with all of the capital that they have.
Right. But I also
surprise they're still doing it. This is it has nothing to do with free trade or anything, because as we've witnessed, there's no fucking free trade because they've shut down the trading.
Right. Well, also, I don't really trust people's reactions during times of distress too, like this, because it's like, yeah, this is really helpful in a lot, like you're saying, and bringing. We touched on this a bit before about making other people savvy about this who may not otherwise be before. But at the same time, it's
right.
like, how come this has to happen during like this time in this pandemic? And like, even if it does become more culturally aware, or if it presents itself more culturally aware, you know, like, is it really going to stick? Is there like, what's the future of it?
I almost think that it's the perfect time for this to happen, because again, it's like this fucking virus has crippled the American economy, and like we watched as all these fucking giant corporations got big fucking bailouts. Once again, we have to prop up business. We have to prop up business as people are like facing evictions all over the fucking country, and it's just like, man, like this is the time that this would happen, because everybody's fucking struggling. And if this would have happened non-COVID, I don't think anybody would have even fucking noticed or cared.
Right.
I know. I've seen like other people online who are like talking about holding on to their stocks and never selling as revenge. For everything.
I mean, is like, I understand that point of view. I understand, like,
just keep the price like sky high and be like, "Yep, sorry, you're not gonna get it. Sorry, pal."
I mean, because again, other people do this shit too. Like, all these fucking people, it's a fucking game, and anybody that's pretending that it's not a game is just like, it's a game, and they just know the rules a little bit better than you. But once people have sort of started figuring it out for themselves, and they know how to like weaponize the game against the people who have been winning the whole time. Like,
yep.
Oh, okay, so now we're not allowed. Now you're like I said, you're just gonna unplug the controller,
dude. It's like playing a fighting game with somebody, and like, you know, having a super attack that you can use by pressing two buttons, and somebody like telling you how to play the game and like purposely neglecting to tell you like an integral detail about it, and then you're just losing to them over and over and over again. And you're like, what am I doing wrong? I don't understand you. I'm doing what you taught me to do, and it's like, you're just withholding an essential piece of the mechanics here that I could maybe use to have an equal fighting chance. And that's like predatory. Just like
and then
Epstein.
they figure it out, and then, yeah, totally, a victim. We're
right.
starting to kind of see what he was going through.
You know, I relate to the man. You know, I'm Lars von Trier talking about Hitler, apparently.
What the fuck?
Did you ever see that thing that
no,
Lars von Trier like got blasted and banned from Cannes for like making a really distasteful joke about like Hitler being like, I relate to the man. Like, I don't know. I shouldn't have had I had to explain it, and then it wasn't funny.
No, I mean, yeah, man, it's funny.
Someone believes.
Grant,
take it away, man. Give us a punishment.
Make them away, toys. Dude, I don't fucking I don't just replace the stock market with a casino. Who cares? I just make Reddit is instead of stocks, we do updoots. We do updoots and uploads, and we trade narwhal bacon.
Oh, baby.
And
this is everything.
If you get Reddit gold, man, you're epic big Chungus Keanu, man. Or like, have you all seen, I tweeted this out earlier, and I think this is actually pretty trite, which is, it's the Redditor army seizing Wall Street, and it's these photos of like early 20th century Russians, like after they, eliminated the Tsars, and they're just like in these they're in this large palace, just like fucking bewildered at how these people are like living, as all of the Russians, like, Russia at the turn of the century was like not a very good place to live. It was essentially a third world country as the rest of Europe flourished. And they're just like looking at these photographs in this lavish palace, and they're just like they don't even like. You just look at their faces of these people that have been starving to death, and you're like, holy shit, like what these people have gone through.
Imagine this beautiful painting, but instead of wearing ragged clothing, they're wearing flame print Hawaiian t-shirts.
Fieri's seizing of the market. Sorry, Fieri. My bad. Don't come for
so
me,
maybe
guys.
that's part of the punishment too. Is after we all storm Wall Street and there's a bunch of people with I don't know, Pepe the Frog tattoos or whatever the fuck, just
power of the players.
That was another thing that people kept trying to do. People were like, "Oh, is what's happening on Wall Street right now with Reddit? Is this tied to white supremacy?" And again,
that was a fake article that I fell for.
Right,
it.
but the sentiment was reflected in a lot of what I was seeing on Twitter. And again, it was a big collective like, no.
And that's what I was saying earlier. I do love how we're at this turning point in society where we can just be like, no, that's not what's happening. And everybody's like, it's like we're so big, and these guys are like kicking and screaming at our feet, and we're like, no.
I mean, I do think that a lot of people are like panicking, and for once, it seems to be the right people are panicking, hopefully. I mean, who knows what comes out of this, but I do think that like the sentiment of like, hey, you know how you thought for a long time that the system was rigged against you? Well, it is. Like, I think that's good. I think that's good that people know that.
I mean, this past year, who can wake up every day and feel like, yes, this world was made for me to thrive in? Like, that's just not the fucking case. Like, anyone can see it at this point. Can't even sing fucking sea shanties anymore.
I know. It's the oppression.
Well, I guess we spent a lot of time talking about that, but I'm open to maybe lightening up with talking about like pink macaroni and cheese or Birdwatch on Twitter.
So pink macaroni and cheese, it's food. They got food for ladies now. That's kind of interesting.
Damn, that's cool. That didn't exist before.
Some pasta for the broads.
Hey.
Kraft. Fuck, they want me to enable ads. Go fuck yourself.
So
Kraft macaroni and cheese. I'll just read the headline and just derive what information I can because I'm not disabling ads for today.com. Kraft macaroni and cheese launches pink macaroni and cheese for Valentine's Day. It tastes like candy, apparently.
Dude, so I was eating a gummy bear when I read that article, or when I saw the headline, rather, and I tasted it.
Yeah.
I truly felt it in my palate and in my skull. And why? Who buys this stuff? Like people who wear green suits? Like green pants suits? Like, is that... Is that what's up? Like, I don't know.
It's the simple tactic of like, this is pink, this is for girls, you're a girl, buy it.
But it's like also anti that, because like we know that doesn't work anymore, and it's like it's like leaning into the meme of it, and
it's candy flavored, and also there's that like Sonic the Hedgehog flavored macaroni.
It tastes just like him.
It's blue. It's blue macaroni and cheese, and
as someone who's eaten Sonic's ass, I can attest to the fact that it definitely tastes like Sonic.
Tastes like chili dogs.
Blue lives matter, as they say. There's got to be, because as soon as that Sonic shit came out, everyone was like, this has got to be disgusting. I have to buy it and like make a fucking video about it. Ew, it's gross. I wonder if this is the same shit. There's got to be a level of viral marketing that they know that if you release something that's absolutely disgusting,
then the thought cops will talk about it on
we'll review it or some shit like that. And you'll sell maybe not a lot, but enough to make back profit.
Yeah, and to show that you're hip with consumers or whatever. And whatever.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Fuck this.
Because again,
I don't want
like
it.
if you make a bunch of commercials saying like eat our macaroni and cheese, people are like, yeah, we've all eaten Kraft macaroni and cheese. But if you go, hey, we made a disgusting flavor, the internet's talking about it, the thought cops are talking about it,
and we all gasped collectively.
You know, actually, man, I don't know, because while we're talking about this, I'm a little hungry, and I know I have mac and cheese in the cabinet, and like,
see, I think
Joey, do you ever sit there and think, gee, I wish it tasted like candy?
No, but I feel like that's the point, like bringing that, like the reminder that it exists, you know, like it's like, again, it's like brand dampening, basically. And that's gross because it just worked on me. Fuck. Ugh.
I think that actually, I think that's the point in this type of stuff. Get people talking and get them thinking about your brand. And I bet thousands of people across the country saw this tweet about the pink macaroni and went out to the store and bought Kraft.
That's crazy. What the heck?
Nuts, man.
How do they? What were they smoking when they came up with this?
Oh, man.
Seriously.
So, and speaking of shitty products, I wanted to try the Major Melon Mountain Dew. Did you guys hear about this or see this? And I hate Mountain Dew. I truly do. But I like shitty melon flavors. Just something about it. You know, it's comfort food, bro. So Mountain Dew released Major Melon flavor for the gamers, of course. And it tastes the best way I could describe.
When you're buying Stonks, you can drink melon. You fucking idiot!
Oh God, the causticness of that. Just I love it. But speaking of caustic,
I broke the fucking trigger on my gun.
Wow! Yeah.
Once again, Kevin's just openly throwing guns across my room.
I really felt Kevin's frustration. I fully, because this is how I get whenever I rant in my house. I feel it. But speaking of caustic things, this stuff tastes Major Melon Mountain Dew tastes like a sticky lunchroom table. Like it tastes like dirty little kids. Oh, okay.
Come on, Jeffrey.
Okay, I didn't even realize that's where I was going. I'm done. I'm just not going to talk anymore for the rest of the time.
All right. Well, speaking of not talking anymore, pink macaroni. What the fuck do we do about it?
How about blue macaroni for the fellas? Yeah. And it tastes like
Sonic the Hedgehog's asshole.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
The manliest flavor.
You eat Sonic's fucking ass this week? Mamma mia!
No, I prefer Mario's ass, personally. It's a little spicier.
It's actually, I guess this is Mario talking to Luigi about how they're going to eat Sonic's ass this weekend.
And then who eats Robotnik's ass or Eggman's ass? You know, like...
Nobody.
That is a good question. Yeah, nobody, because he's floating in that large...
That's true.
Too busy buying stonks on Wall Street.
He's got there's a bidet installed in that thing, and so his booty is probably the cleanest. Cool. I would say.
Eggman is definitely the Elon Musk of the Sonic world, and let's just say I'm on Sonic's side now. Kick his butt.
Amen.
Back to Africa.
Shogun of Sorrow calling me out.
Oh, Elon Musk. Sorry.
No.
Calling me out in the chat here saying you just know Mario's ass is a hairy fucking forest. And it's like, I know this. I can relate.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
I'm ready to move on from that. Should we do one more story just to
Let's talk about Birdwatch.
I did not see this.
This is what is this, like the Pinocchio scale? But it's like for Twitter fact-checking kind of thing. You can report tweets that seem like they are lies.
Oh, I see.
Sounds pretty convenient, right? Can't wait to see it be used the wrong way.
Right. It's purely Orwellian.
I mean, even the logo does. I mean, all joking aside, the logo kind of looks like the
like the cover of every copy of 1984, which is just a big eye, a big eyeball. A lot of people were hating on this because, for obvious reasons. There's a video. Should we watch it, or is it just doesn't even matter?
Let's watch it.
All right, it's only a minute long.
Good. This is definitely a narc app, 100%.
So the typing says whales are not real. They're robots funded by the government to watch us. Now there's real obnoxious music playing. The guy says, it's true, my uncle told me about this, makes sense to me, come on, totally false, I never trusted dolphins, do your research and decide for yourself, blah, blah, blah. A bunch of people are commenting on this. Wow, look at all the people commenting. And it says, spoiler alert, you can't trust everything you see online. That's why we're introducing Birdwatch. People can create notes that add context to tweets. So it's like reporting it, except instead of reporting, you're
being a cop of thought.
Yeah, this is our fucking job.
Yeah, I feel like this should be branded for you guys.
It should be. It should be Birdwatch, brought to you in part by Thought Cops.
Yeah.
Yep.
Indeed.
That seems fair.
This seems like one of those things that people would complain that it's like censorship, but it's literally the opposite. It's just like providing context, which is like, I don't have that big of a problem with it, to be completely honest. I would rather there be context supplied. I do think that as technology sort of progresses and people's understanding of it progresses, it's like we don't just have to be arguing online all the time. There's maybe better ways of doing it. I don't have a problem with this technology existing, to be completely.
Yeah, I just think it's not really going to do a whole lot. I feel like it's just going to bloat things even more. Like it's just going to oversaturate what is already pretty oversaturated.
Right.
Like it's a nice little addition, I think, but I don't really see it being practical because that's adding another step on top of another step on top of another step.
Right.
Where like it just I don't know. I don't really think it'll be used for anything particularly useful, but I can see it being helpful in some circumstances, like something that's like an actual factual reporting and something that's like typoed or wrong or, you know.
Right. Of course, their example is like whales aren't real. And it's just
that's
like,
so
man,
funny.
yeah. First
Narwhal
of all,
bacon.
hilarious.
So fucking funny.
Narwhal bacon.
That's real.
But it's like, yeah, I mean, there's actual issues of like people getting shot at like pizza parlors over like pedophile rings that like, you know, I get that you're going for whatever, but it's just
Are
like,
you talking to Joey?
Yeah, I was wondering if that was pointed to me or not.
There's like an aspect to it that's like, man, so much of this shit's more serious than what like the level that you're giving it to, and it feels like basically like a half measure.
Yeah.
You know? That maybe when people are openly saying like, hey, we're going to storm the Capitol and overthrow the government and kill a bunch of people, that maybe you just like ban their Facebook accounts and you don't do it after the fact, because that's what all these people do is they go like, oh, there's clear and present danger and people are openly threatening felonies, and your response is to like let it happen, and then like when it's a PR nightmare to go back and go, oh, now we're going to ban Donald Trump. It's just like, yeah, nobody cares at this point.
I think...
Hey, let me just say one thing. If this existed when that orange buffoon was in the White House, I would have been on every single one of his posts and typing fake news.
Right. Can I just say there's something to be said for when John Grisham book titles perfectly encapsulate American headlines like on the daily? Like... You said clear and present day. I think that's John Grisham. But either way, the sentiment applies that like all these news stories, you can just throw a John Grisham thriller, the newest thriller from Grisham, on top of it.
I guess so. I'm not too well versed on him, but if you say so.
I know you're a huge thriller fan. The genre.
A big thriller guy. Well, Grant, you know, if you had just read the Wikipedia article about this, we could have had a discussion about it.
Oh, right.
But you did not.
That makes sense. Well, and I do feel like there's another aspect to this, which is that people don't trust fact checkers. And there's an aspect to that that's like legitimate, which is like when Bernie Sanders made some claim about like, 9 million people lost their health care this year or whatever. And then like
crazy Bernie.
There was the fact checker thing that was like, actually it was 8.9 million. It wasn't 9 million, like you said. It was 8.99 million. So we're rating it 4 Pinocchios. It's like, fuck you. But also, like, these conspiracy theorist people, if you go on Twitter and you say, the earth is flat, fuck you, and someone goes, "Oh, I'm gonna bird watch this," and then there's context added, people just go, "Yeah, big tech, fact checking again. You're wrong. It's all part of the conspiracy." Like it does nothing.
Right. It just cycles.
It doesn't do what you think it's gonna do. It's just like everyone's gonna see that. Oh, it was corrected. It was fact checked, and everybody just magically changes their opinion on everything. Like, oh, it worked. The technology worked as intended. Like, no, it never works.
And it's not going to change anybody's mind. Like, it may be like on a very small way, but yeah. I think we need game facts checkers. That's what we fucking need.
That's a good punishment.
That's a great punishment.
You have to go to game facts and make a topic about something and then watch the replies just come on in, baby. And that's how you're able to determine whether or not something is legitimate or not.
Frequently asked questions. Number 1, how do you beat the boss in Mega Man 7? Joey. Boss number 3. How do you beat
actually the game is not linear, so if you
can do them in any order. I'm sorry. How do you beat what the hell?
Wily 3.
Bubble Man.
Wily 3 is actually very difficult. So you want to you want to use the springs and you charge up the spring attack and you can aim the springs to hit Wily. A lot of people don't realize that and struggle with that fight.
Wouldn't have thought of that. That.
Speaking of things we like to do and like to see and watch and consume, Key to the City.
Oh, yeah. You go first.
You want me to go first?
Yes, I don't have anything.
I can go first. Our good friend Zach, or our good parasocial relationship friend Zach, a.k.a. YOLO Swag Studios. I'm giving him Key to the City. We did an episode with him a couple months ago. I don't remember how long ago it was actually, but he makes cartoons obviously, and some of them have like somewhat of a political slant. And I mean, like, if look at this cartoon right here, Kevin. Like,
yeah, I saw that.
It's like a Ben Garrison-esque sort of cartoon, but it makes no sense. Like, the little dog in the corner who's supposed to be that guy from The Onion, sort of like the little smarmy guy. Like it'll be like, oh, femboys are actually good, and it's just like, my ex-girlfriend from college, I'm mean and my nipples are weird, and it's just like you distill the Ben Garrison cartoons into some just like nonsensical drivel.
Yes.
And it's just like the perfect like parody of that style, and it's done so well that he's started gaining traction from people that are unfamiliar with him, and they're like posting this shit going like, what the fuck is this? And it's like hilarious that he's like getting some traction for these like silly drawings. Like, it's very, very good.
Ben Garrison, boy
and
pussy.
I like, yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
I also like how you threw some shade on him too, because you're like, he does cartoons, obviously.
Well, I mean, like, for people that like maybe are unfamiliar with him, that like haven't been around for when he was on the episode, you know. Or haven't for when he has.
I just want to put
alienating to all new listeners.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to do. That's what I'm here for. He said, "Get him back." Hell yeah, get him back.
Yeah, we will. Don't worry.
Him and his girlfriend Daphne.
Yeah, they do that podcast together.
What? Sissy
Hypno Hour.
Sissy Hypno Hour. Yeah.
I got a Key to the City.
Go for it.
Never thought I'd say this. My Key to the City this week goes to Reddit.
Oh, no.
Reddit's good. Reddit's good.
For everything we said earlier.
Right. We did it, Reddit.
Joey, what's your Key to the City?
My Key to the City, man, you know, I didn't think about this.
You had all this time and we were talking.
I know, I didn't even think about it. However, while we were watching Birdwatch videos, somebody named Old DOS Games followed me.
Oh, that's cool.
So they're getting my Key to the City. I think so.
Just because they followed you?
Because they followed me. Yeah, I think that's fair. Actually, no, awesome. You know what? No, I'll give you a real one. I've been playing. I'll keep this topical again. The Discord news. Okay, he wants me to say the Discord news. So yeah, okay.
No, they already got it. They don't get it again. They're banned from getting any more keys to the city unless they do a really good Discord news.
They can get like one of my copies
every week. IONet runner, you don't get it every week.
You can get one of my copies. No, I've got one. I'll keep it like wholesome and in gamer contextual. I've been playing through this
Epic Keanu Reeves Big Chungus. Keep it
hell
wholesome.
yeah. I've been
Heckin' wholesome.
been playing through the Saga games recently, and those games have very deep mechanics. And so I went on over.
Is that a JRPG?
Yeah. Very obscure, like esoteric mechanics. And I went on there on the Saga Discord, and I was like, oh, there's lots of anime avatars here. We'll see how this goes. But everybody was super fucking nice and helpful and just a really good experience. So if you're ever looking to get into a series, man, I don't know, there was a good Discord. I had a good experience. I can't think of too many gaming communities that I've ever joined and just, didn't want to shoot myself.
For a second, I thought you were going to say, I can't think of the last time I've had a positive experience with another human.
I mean, dude, yeah. Except you guys. You warm my heart.
Yeah. So obviously, besides this.
And IO Netrunner, too. So, and the Discord news. Yeah. Those are the only ones who warm my cold heart.
Hey, you cannot get your key to the city copied at Home Depot and just give them out to everybody.
Yeah,
it's just keys down the street.
They're sacred. They're sacred.
Obviously. Yeah, obviously. Exactly. Definitely.
This week's Thought Cops word of the week is stonks.
So funny.
It's how you... It's how you say stocks if you're one of these freaks.
It's just so fucking funny, dude.
I'm already like doing a heel turn on it. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. Well,
give me that key back.
You know what? They deserve all the hate that they get. Even if you do good, what's the thing about like you can build 1,000 bridges, but you fuck one goat and you're a goat fucker? You're still a Redditor, okay?
Yeah.
You can overthrow the American economic system. You're still a Redditor.
Mm-hmm.
They probably fuck goats too.
Yeah, probably.
That's a really good analogy, man. I got it. Oof. That was poignant. It got me a little sad too.
Before we get to the very final segment of the show, which is of course our listener voicemails, it's time for the plugs. Joey, plug everything you got. Lay it all out.
I
don't want to plug it because I want Sonic to reciprocate and eat my ass.
We're not. Yeah, I want to go on the record here and say, I want to say Joey's a good guy and he's not a pedophile.
Right.
All joking aside, he's not a fucking pedophile.
I don't think that's true. Well, okay, yeah, I'm not.
Wait, hold on. I said I don't think you are.
No, he said I don't think it's true.
I'm a pedophile.
You're that I'm not a good guy. Oh, I was trying to defend.
No, I was defending myself. The more I conflate it, the better it gets. That's just what I'm.
Where does the character begin and end anymore?
I can't wait until like this episode gains traction based on the fact that we gave such like a cathartic release of all of the frustration that was like built up online, and that people look back at the episode and they're like, yeah, I just wish that they didn't do the episode with a registered sex.
Yeah. Well, at least
he's not.
At least they got to listen back to the episode in a court of law.
No, I am not a registered
some people in the jury subscribe to us. No,
what a big mess. What
Joey,
a mess
not yet,
is not a pedophile.
No, I'm not. But we're making some butt jokes here with the plug stuff. I'm a little offended. And that's just how it is. But all right, let me plug this up for you. You can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/podcastjump. We are on Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, SoundCloud. Find us on YouTube and Twitch. And that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to be continuing the live stream series that I was mentioned a little bit earlier in the episode. Maybe you guys could hop on it too before the end, because I have like 20 more episodes. So why not?
Oh yeah,
that'd be a lot of fun. And yeah, just take a look at that. I'm also the community manager of a Ease Discord. It's a stupid, nerdy JRPG series. So if you like Zelda-esque action games, check it out, I guess. That's it. That's my plugs.
Cool.
Well, let's hear from our wonderful listeners. They left us some great voicemails. I'm assuming they're great because they're our listeners. If you want to give us a call, leave your own, 312-788-7361, or you can send us an audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Hit it.
This is the Discord news for this week, bringing you all the news worth reporting from the virtual streets of Neo Chicago.
Stocks took over multiple channels this week in the Discord as the fragile facade that is the stock market crumbled under the power of neckbeard Redditors.
F's in the hashtag Thought Cops chat this week as Grant admits he is bad at video games.
I don't care.
Fake racism rocked the outrage channel as a scandal involving a non-white voice actor was posted and then quickly forgotten about.
The official cat of Thought Cops, the Thought Cat, has a Twitter account. It should have been on Instagram. The official social media platform of Discord News is Instagram.
Slime screwed up the entire Discord sense of time by posting Gayfield a day late. He will be punished.
In the span of a couple of hours, Kevin shared not one, but 2 posts that were revealed as fake in minutes by the members of the server.
Kevin.
Thanks for trying, though, King.
This week's Discord news has been presented to you by Yo Wife Fucker and IoNetRunner.
Thank you.
He really took that compliment to heart last week. Aaron called him a wife fucker, and then he's identifying as a wife fucker, and he's like, "Can you call?" He's like, "When you introduce me, can you call me wife fucker?"
I mean, they do change their names basically every week, so which I think is another fun gag of like the rotation of the Discord news is just like brought to you by Yo Piss Your Pantsy and IO Shit Eater.
Yep.
So I gave my key to the city out to one of our listeners, and he left a voicemail, I guess, accepting the key to the city. So let's...
Oh, this is a first?
Yeah. More people should do this. But anyway,
Reddit, we're waiting.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and hit play on this.
I hate this.
Ahoy, me hearties. It's me, I, Captain Matchmalfelt, wooer of women, scourge of Chinese spy apps, and singer of shanties. I be here to humbly accept me key to the cities, a treasure worth more than any booty in the South Seas. And so I raise a pint of grog tea, constables of ideation. And Kevin, you better start believing in sea shanties. You're in one.
Oh my God!
No thanks, buddy. I'm an ally.
But so, Kevin, I have a suggestion for you, and I think it's that you should start streaming Sea of Thieves and just singing sea shanties to it, man. That's your calling. That's your moneymaker.
And get canceled? I don't know.
Just a couple racial slurs, dude. It's fine.
IoNetRunner just changed his name to IO Shit Eater.
Anyway, that was I liked his voice.
It's good.
Yeah, that much.
It's a good. It was
a good pirate.
More Irish than pirate.
I think he also does a podcast. There's probably Irish podcast or Irish.
Oh yeah,
pirates.
there's probably
Irish. I don't know.
Irish podcast.
Oh, dude, how about an age-old question for you? Pirates or ninjas, dude? What is it gonna be?
Oh man.
Wow.
I really think that 2021 is like going to be the year. Like, just we don't fucking care anymore.
I'm already on that shit,
like,
man.
just think about how we're not even done with January as of this recording. And God, it has been a long month, and we don't care anymore.
No,
but we care, but we don't.
January's finest,
right?
Hell yes.
Anyway, Matt that left that voicemail does have a podcast, I think, called Pub Talk. So if you can find it, go listen to it. He's funny.
Does he do pirate voices on it?
Hopefully, I hope so.
Well, if he doesn't, I don't really.
Yeah, there's no ninja voice. Don't care. Next one.
Hey, fuck ups. My 2 minutes of hate goes to customers that don't fucking read the sign.
Is this still
we have
text?
a fucking menu at Five Guys, and yet it's like no one fucking reads it. And they ask questions that could be answered if they read the menu. Do we have avocado? No, we don't have avocado. Do we have ranch? No. Onion rings? No. Oh, well, how come everything's so expensive on the total? Because everything's fucking expensive on the menu. just Just please read. God damn.
Did he say he works at Five Guys?
Yeah, I believe
Five
so.
Guys has literally everything on the big, like, fucking placard when you walk in. The entirety of the menu and all of the prices and all of every single ingredient. I've never seen any other place do that the way that they do it. Everything's listed.
This guy would hate to work at In-N-Out. It's like you got these like secret menus and codes. This guy's like, you want an animal style? What the hell are you saying? I don't see it up there.
Yeah, Five Guys is like the exact opposite. They're like, you could get ketchup and mustard.
What?
And mayo. Or you could get pickles. And it's just like every single fucking item is on the menu. How do you not... Have these people not been to a Five Guys
I have to say that...
I mean, it's not that popular.
He sounded like he just had a drink. He sounded a little bit whiskey tinged. So...
It's definitely Dilbert.
You know,
let's not even to mention the voicemails we didn't play of his before that were, let's just say, pretty bad.
I hope he's okay.
Which he thanked us
and
for.
he hasn't been fired for drinking on the job. Because that is not good.
I think he's fine.
It's an improvement over what we used to get.
Right.
At like 3 a.m.
when he was
it's
actually
a good time
drunk.
to leave voicemails.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Thought Cops, IO Netrunner here, and this week my 2 minutes of hate is when you like something that isn't very popular, specifically like food or drinks. So I prefer listen, energy drinks are bad. I know. Don't shut up.
Right.
But if I am going to drink one, I would prefer a Monster Import because I like the taste of it and it has the fancy lid. But it's really hard to find because it's a little more expensive and it's a little bigger bottle than, a regular sized can. And also recently I've been unable to find this rum I like called Single Prop. I bought the last 2 bottles at a store I was at recently, and I can't find it at my local store. I had to drive like 15 minutes away to find it.
Liquors are hard to
it just
find
sucks
sometimes.
because I like this stuff, and it's hard to find because it's not very popular.
Right.
The punishment for these things should be they should be more popular.
I mean, that's
practical.
Good. It
Keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, thank
Bye-bye.
you. It basically solves itself.
If they're more popular, you can't make a personality out of it.
That's true.
Right.
The hipsterdom.
Then you
goes
got
away.
a problem.
That's, yeah. Huh.
Liking Monster Import is not a personality trait.
This.
And I do the little pointy emoji, this, and it's pointing down to the post that I'm retweeting.
This. Okay, Ted.
This.
I wonder how he feels about Major Melon Mountain Dew if he's into these unpopular flavors.
Oh, he's probably drinking one right now.
Curious. How?
Oh, he's in the chat right now. How you can ask him right now.
Yeah. Do you? How do you feel about Major Melon Mountain Dew?
Dead air. This is a great idea.
Dead ass.
Guy.
He's typing.
Okay.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
He doesn't like it.
All right.
Okay.
Well, on that note, let's wrap this episode up.
Joey, thanks so much for coming on the show. Oh, well, hold on.
He says, wait, it stinks.
Oh!
Okay.
Joey, thanks so much for coming on the show. Glad you have you back. Grant, any final words you want to add to what I'm saying?
I agree with everything Kevin says.
And thanks, guys, for having me on. It's always fun talking with you.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, and everybody, if you want to support the show, you want to blow off some of your Stonks money, because I know you're all rich by the time you're listening, go to patreon.com/thoughtcops. Throw us a few bucks. You get you get some good stuff.
Cops.
You can listen to the live chat. We'll ask you questions, sit there and wait for you to answer. That's what your money gets you, and that could be you too. If you go ahead and head on over to patreon.com/thoughtcops, and of course, you can always leave us a voicemail that's free. Give us a call, 312-788-7361, or send a audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Hey, if we're still alive next week, I'll see you next time.
See you, Space Cop.
Stonks!